Anyway, let's talk about the NBA play in a little bit and what we think about some of these upcoming series. The Warriors won last night, barely. 38 points from Jimmy Butler, 37 from Steph Curry, and they still barely beat the Memphis Grizzlies. That's not a good sign for the Warriors. Trey Young got ejected. I'm so happy at how the NBA is handling Trey Young right now. Listen, game 1 of the play-in tournament, Trey Young, the biggest flopper in the history of this game, got ejected because he was frustrated with the officials. Do you know how happy that makes me? I'm so tired of watching these guys flop around like a fish to get free throws, ruining the game that I love. And the first playoff game of the year, the biggest flopper in the last decade, gets so frustrated with the lack of calls that he gets ejected from the game. I love that. I love that so much. And so I saw all the clips of Trey Young getting ejected, right? But I was like, why was he so frustrated? I really hope it's because he was trying to flop and they weren't giving him calls, and that's exactly what it was. 2 possessions in a row before he gets ejected. The Atlanta Hawks are down by 16 points right here. Look at this. This is what he does. This is what started his frustration, and this is the same thing Jalen Brunson does every game. This is what he did in that playoff series with the Sixers that ended the damn thing because Kelly Oubre wouldn't stop falling for this bullshit. But Trey Young, 5 minutes left in this game, tries this slide left, stop on a dime, jump backwards into the defender. Like, you see what I'm saying? This is not an NBA shot attempt. And I'm so glad that these officials aren't calling this a foul. He's because intention is everything. You know, like Trey Young fans, Hawks fans, they'll say it's technically a foul. He goes straight up to shoot the ball, defender runs into his back, it's technically a foul. And maybe it is technically a foul, but intention matters. This is what the NBA has to get right. Intention matters. And you can see his intention. He's not intending to get a shot off. He's watching the defender behind him. He's intending to slide in front of the defender, stop on a dime, to try to draw a foul to get 3 free throws. It's absolute garbage. It's one of the biggest problems with the NBA today is players that play like this. I'm glad they didn't call it, but they need to start fining players that play the game this way. Stop foul hunting. Go try to score, because this is a product we're trying to sell. And guess what? The people paying to watch it don't want to see this garbage. Anyway, I'm so happy that he didn't get this call right here. And then the very next possession, he got shoved out of bounds after a missed layup late and hit the bottom of the backboard. That's when he got pissed off. Then they were down by 20. He put the ball through a player's legs just to show off a little bit. Threw the ball at the referee, got a technical foul. Then he kicked the ball down the other side of the court, got a second technical foul, and got ejected. So, well done, NBA, for sending a message to little flopping trolls like Trey Young. We're not calling it. Try to score or do something else. We're not giving you 3 free throws for stopping and jumping backwards. And he got so frustrated because he's so used to playing the game that way. He didn't know what to do. And he got himself ejected from the game. The Atlanta Hawks are terrible. Trey Young might be the most overrated, air quotes, all-star in the league. And now that his superpower of drawing fouls is gone, he basically has nothing left. Interesting that the Hawks, that we thought they were going to try to trade Trey Young this offseason, and they traded DeJounte Murray instead. I wouldn't have done that. But yeah. So now the Orlando Magic play the Boston Celtics, and I guess we'll talk about... We got a couple super chats, man. Thanks for being here. I still believe if Bob Myers is GM, the Sixers are saved. I think so too. I just have a fear that the owners are not trying to save the 76ers. They're trying to save money. You know why they backed out of the arena being built in Chinatown, right? Because the revenue started to tank. You can't build a brand new arena and restructure the whole center of the city and cause all of these economical potential issues or whatever if you're not going to profit. You need the city to be excited for the team and excited for the new arena. The city's not excited for the team, so they back out of the arena deal. I just don't think they're trying to save the Sixers, man. I hope it happens. I hope it happens, man. Would you rather have Walker or Oubre be the first off the bench? Honestly, man, I love Kelly Oubre's energy. I like what he brings as a utility guy alongside a solid roster. But as a bench player, I'm going Walker because of his flat out like ball handling and scoring ability, where Kelly Oubre is just kind of I don't know what to call Kelly Oubre, man. He's a wild card, man. He's a 30% shooter. He's just not a guy that you want to be relying on in certain situations. And I don't think he's a guy that you want to be coming off the bench as like a microwave scorer. He's not. Kelly Oubre is not like a guy that you should be going to really in any lineup as a scoring option. Pretty wild to say that I would take Lonnie Walker over Kelly Oubre, but thinking about like coming off the bench, you want a guy that can give you buckets. And I think I'm over the Kelly Oubre experience, man. I think I am. I think I'm over the Sixers experience. And my camera's over this show, as it has frozen now like 5 different times. Yeah, I think I'm over the Sixers experience. Before I get out of here, let's talk about can the Orlando Magic compete with the Boston Celtics? Y'all give me your takes in the chat, man. People have answered Kelly Oubre as the answer to that in the chat. A says he'd rather have Kelly Oubre. Sudlush says he'd rather have Kelly Oubre. JJ, for some reason, is talking about Joel Embiid being a flopper as we're talking about Trey Young. Okay. That is called deflection. That's what that's called. Yeah. Anyway, before we get out of here, can the Orlando Magic beat the Boston Celtics in a playoff series? The answer to that, sadly, is no. Obviously, they can't beat the Boston Celtics in a playoff series. They can't beat the Boston Celtics in a game, I don't think. The Boston Celtics have essentially the same roster they had last season with the addition of Kristaps Porzingis because he was injured last year. They did this with basically without Kristaps Porzingis active. They went 16-4. What did they go in the playoffs? First round they beat the Heat 4-1. Second round they beat the Cavs 4-1. Conference finals they swept the Pacers and they won the finals 4-1. 4, 8, 16-3. And now, yeah, I want someone to knock off the Boston Celtics so bad. It's not going to be the Orlando Magic. The Magic might not even get one game, man. If we look at the Magic's season, I was looking for, I'm searching for a way that I can say the Magic have a shot. And I can't find one. If you first of all, Jalen Suggs went out with the ACL tear, right? And so there's a scorer that they're down. Mo Wagner also out for this season. There's a rebounder, hustle type of guy, toughness type of guy that they're down. And then you really look at their season, man. The only win streaks they really went on were against the worst teams in the NBA: the Pelicans, the Wizards, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Sixers. The Phoenix Suns, Lakers, Pistons, Hornets, Bulls, Nets. Who did the Magic really beat this year? Miami Heat. They did beat the Celtics a couple of days before the Celtics lost to the Sixers on Christmas Day, but the Celtics were like, it's Christmas time, bro. We don't care about basketball right now. They lost every time they played like a slew of contenders. They went on a losing streak. Again, Charlotte Hornets, Atlanta Hawks, San Antonio Spurs, Sacramento Kings, Washington Wizards. Like the Magic are like a step above mid, but just not very good, man. Not good enough to beat the Boston Celtics. Not only in a playoff series, they did beat the Celtics again on April 9th. Maybe the Magic win one game if the Celtics take a night off. If the Celtics have one of those games where they're like, they shoot 78 threes, they shoot 20% from three or something like that. But the Orlando Magic are not. Magic can do it. Why not? Brown is out. Jaylen Brown is out. What do you mean Brown is out? What's Jaylen Brown out for? What are we talking about? Jaylen Brown injury. What do you mean Brown is out? It sounds like the Celtics aren't too worried about Jaylen Brown's knee. I'm not subscribing to the Boston Globe. What is that? Jaylen Brown's injury news. Recently, Jaylen Brown received a notable injury update regarding his knee. Drew Holiday recently spoke about Brown's injury, sending a clear message the fans want to see. Nobody's worried. He looked good to me. JB is going to JB terms of not showing weakness. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? Are we just making stuff up now? What are we talking about? Everyone seems like Jaylen Brown's not hurt. But even without Jaylen Brown, the Orlando Magic are not winning a game. They're winning one game, and it's going to be the one game that the Celtics take a night off and shoot 20% from three. Other than that, they're not winning a game. We got to be honest here. That's 4-1. That's 4-1. No, even if Jaylen Brown is hurt, that's 4-1. Orlando's not even competing with Boston, and that sucks. What other series have we got? This one's big time right here. The reason this is big time is that I don't think the Golden State Warriors can beat the Houston Rockets. And by the way, I'm 2 for 2 on the play-in games. I got the Warriors right, barely escaped the Memphis Grizzlies, and I got the Magic over the Hawks right. I'm 2-0. I told you guys I'm predicting every series 100% accurately. So far, day one, 100% accurate. But realistically, the Warriors needed 38 from Jimmy Butler and 37 from Steph Curry. They don't have, Jimmy Butler's doing this like, I get to play Robin to Batman and all this stuff, but realistically, you're going to need more than just that, because just a couple days ago, like last week, the Houston Rockets held Steph Curry to 3 points in 36 minutes. The Houston Rockets are a defensive powerhouse, and they're going to slow down Steph Curry. If you just go back and watch what they did in that game where they held him to 3 points, they threw the kitchen sink at him because they know Brandon Pajemski's not going to cook us. You know what I mean? The Warriors don't have enough outside of Steph Curry to survive this playoff series. I got the Hawks in 6. And if you're a betting man, the Warriors are favored in this playoff series. I think that's insane. But a lot of these odds are not made by people that really intently watch what's going on. They just see Steph Curry, Warriors. Warriors were a dynasty that won all these championships. Houston Rockets are a younger team. The Warriors added Jimmy Butler. Warriors are favored. Bro, they barely escaped the play-in tournament. The Rockets are the number 2 seed. This is one of the best defenses in the NBA. Ime Udoka's about to win Coach of the Year. I don't think Houston's going to get all the way to the NBA Finals, but I do not think the Golden State Warriors have enough to contend, because I think Houston's going to throw the kitchen sink at Steph Curry every single game of the series, I would put some decent money on Houston if they're actually an underdog. If the Warriors somehow win that series, then I'm going to shut up forever. That just seems very unlikely to me. That seems very unlikely to me. Yeah. Is that all I wanted to talk about? I think it is. I think that's all I wanted to talk about, man. Yeah. All right, well, listen, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for giving me your opinion on all the things. We got a couple more play-in games tonight, man. What are the play-in games tonight, man? Let's see. NBA scores. What's today? Wednesday? Heat, Bulls, Mavericks, Kings. Can DJ Eastwood go 4-0 in the play-in tournament? I'm 2-0 right now. Oh, what did I say yesterday? I forget what I said. Who in the chat remembers what I said? What did I say? Heat or Bulls? What did I say? I think I said Heat. Man. I kind of want to change it. Does anybody remember what I said? I kind of want to change it. Am I allowed to change it? Am I allowed to change my pick? Rockets haven't played playoff Butler. Jimmy Butler doesn't average 38 points a game in the playoffs. He had 38 last night. They're going to need 38 from him every single night. I said the Heat. Damn. I kind of want to change it to the Bulls, man. Am I permitted to change it to the Bulls? Or do I have to stay with the Heat? No, I made the prediction. The Heat are who I predicted. I got to stick with the Heat. That was who I predicted. I got to stick with it. I think I said that's the one that I might get wrong. Mavericks, Kings. I took the Kings. Heat over Bulls, Kings over Mavericks. DJ Eastwood goes 4-0 in the play-in tournament. When do the loser games happen? Which, by the way, I said the play-in tournament sucks. I don't think it entirely sucks. Because the games yesterday were good. These games, meh. And then the loser games, dude, they got to get rid of that. Who wants to watch the Hawks play again, man? Nobody.